We are live. How you doing today? On I don't count numbers, so I don't know what episode of Tell Us About Yourself it is. That thing's done because I'll never remember. Yeah, yeah, sure, that works as well. I mean, no, no point in measuring. So, yep, and we are here with our guest this week, Paul Trejo, sometimes known as Chibi when he's wearing a mask and being scary. Cannot hear the big guy. Kent Fouché. I don't know. I can hear you. Hold on. Let me check to see if my settings got messed up. It did.
Uh-oh, settings got messed up. I was
Yeah.
checking.
All right. You should be able to hear the big guy now.
I was checking my microphone, making sure it wasn't me.
Yeah. Now OBS has messed up my settings recently. That's what they're
Oh,
doing.
okay,
They
okay.
keep changing my things. All right, so now we can hear the big guy again. We were briefly talking about how we have not counted the number, and then the big guy said this is episode number 2 with the big guy as host.
Yeah, there we
So
go.
And just as a brief primer for people, the news going forward, the show will now have a rotating cast of co-hosts.
Yep.
Uh, this is the first of the ones to be revealed, but in the future weeks we will have multiple. We have some big guests lined up, and I am excited about the future.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we can keep the show going.
Yep.
It's a great show, and we got a great guest tonight in Mr. Paul
Yes.
Trejo.
Yeah. Paul Trejo is amazing. That chibi guy though, he's got to go.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. So let's start with the biggest question of how did you get into Super Show?
So I got into Super Show. I originally heard about it. 2018
Okay.
was the year at PAX South. I was judging for Magic the Gathering at that time, and they were on location. I didn't think anything of it, uh, but a couple of friends really liked uh, the idea of it, so I picked up some stuff for them. Then, come the next year, or actually no, that was 2019. My apologies, that was 2019. Come later on in the year, I started to look at it. PAX East, I got to meet them, and that was my first time actually getting to play in a tournament. It was one of their after hours ones. It was a lot of fun. Uh, I got one of my buddies into it, and then we found uh, the Texas South group originally started by Bob Huff. He had some people playing, so I joined up with them, and I've been playing ever since.
All right.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. That's good. Oh well, Evil Ed's here, and Babata is telling us it's episode 39.
There we go.
So it's good to know that he's keeping count. All right. So you're talking about getting in at PAX East and then coming back to Texas with Bob Huff. So how has the scene been down there now that Mr. Huff has left the community? It seems.
So I took over as the general manager for Texas after Bob Huff departed. Uh, I've lost track of Houston, Dallas, other places, but the San Antonio community is still alive and kicking. We've been doing online Zoom meetups since the pandemic started. We
Okay.
did have a couple of in person shows last year, but for people's own safety, we have suspended those for the time being.
Okay. Well, I mean, the state is open up again, I believe. So
Yes, it is opened up, but even though it's opened up,
yeah,
the first the community's willingness to actually go out and play
yeah.
is first and foremost. If they're not willing to
That
go to
is
the
a
stores, then
testament to how
I can't
smart
do
your
it.
community is.
Right.
'Cause, yeah. It's definitely a bit scary. So Evil Ed has a question. Pickle or cheese?
Oh boy.
Cheese, I really do not like cucumber pickles.
Oh
I'm
no! I thought we were. I think he thought you were gonna say you like pickles, so he jumped in to stop you. But yeah, see, I mean, I'm a pickle guy, but yeah, cheese is always good.
I like both.
I mean, you can't live in a world without cheese. I think.
Yeah, uh, cheese is great for lifting.
All right. So talked about when you got into the game. So what were the competitors you started with?
Well, we picked up the original El Super Hombre versus Snake Pit set. Uh, I really enjoyed playing Snake Pit.
Hell yeah.
We really didn't understand the rules at the beginning because we read the rules book and we're like, I think we're doing it right. But I mean, we were making mistakes like we would play stops on stops because we came from a magic background. It's like, okay, so we're going to have a counterspell war. But that was not the case.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, no. Yeah, El Super Hombre, Snake Pit, very fun competitors. Early on, I started playing El Scorpio,
Okay.
um, and those were really the competitors I played early on. And then more recently, once Chibi came out, I've been playing a lot of him. And
Okay.
then uh, I do play every once in a while. I'll throw out like D1, uh, some other little competitors I'll crack open, try for a bit, but like I like my character the best at this point.
Yeah. I mean, which
Nice.
is fair. All right. So we have a question from the Zoom chat from a cannoli. So
Oh, here he
Hey,
is.
Paul.
What's up, Anthony?
Hello there. Um, Paul, give me your top three favorite male wrestlers and top three favorite female wrestlers, please.
Top three male and top three female. I guess if I had to say, top three male, Undertaker was the reason I enjoyed wrestling over all these years. Uh, Number two would be John Morrison. Really enjoyed his. It, he shows what a mid card can actually do when they're allowed to just do what they want to do, and he's overall really good competitor. And then number three, hometown hero Shawn Michaels. Can't say much more about that. Female wrestlers. I'd say
let the dogs out. I mean,
number three would be Bailey. Uh, I've loved the way that she's been able to transition between face and heel so well. Now it's kind of saved her career. Uh, Number two, I would put Asuka. Really entertaining wrestler. Uh, Number one, I would put Mickey James. I thought when she came out originally, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But then when they stopped doing the crazy psycho fan turned wrestler gimmick off of her and just turned her into a normal wrestler, I mean, she was one of the like original people of the revolution before they actually did a women's revolution.
okay.
All right. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Twitch chat, Ken Fouché would like to know how does Chibi feel about Uberstar?
Okay, so the character of Chibi is a heel. He has no problems whatsoever with the Uber Star.
Yeah. I mean, especially since he's not a luchador. So,
Mm-hmm.
Right?
and one practice site would like to know what is the backstory for Chibi.
Okay, so the original design for Chibi's backstory was this: he had uh, come into or growing up, he had two siblings that were faster than him and stronger than him, and because of that, he was always considered the small one. For people that don't know, chibi is a word that in Japanese means small, little, uh, but it's also can be taken as in no longer now, but it used to be like a slightly derogatory term of trying to say someone's tiny. It was something to make fun of them. So uh, Chibi became a very high technical wrestler. He used that name to show that the smallest, I don't need to be the biggest, I don't need to be the strongest, I don't need to be the fastest. As long as I'm smarter than you, I can take down kings. And that's kind of where that gimmick came from, of where he hates the ideas of people being over him. And he's going to bring them down to his level, ergo the gimmick,
Okay.
and there he's going to kill them. And the storyline. Regicide kind of doesn't leave much to the imagination on the names.
True. So Evil Ed has a question, which in some ways seems like a perfect segue from that. I believe he is. It's. It looks like a print or king or wave, crime wave. It looks like kings or crime wave.
Oh.
Which
I mean,
I believe that's how I interpret those pictograms. I'm not very big on hieroglyphics, but you know,
so if he's saying kings, I guess he's meaning the three kings.
I would imagine.
I mean, I I actually enjoy the crime wave more than that. Them.
Ooh, man,
I've beaten all the kings already.
all
So,
right. Hey, you haven't beaten all the higher class.
oh, higher class.
See, you used like a royalty though, so I assumed it meant the kings.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you need
right.
like if you would have put a whiskey bottle there,
You
definitely
would have
would've
known.
it was them.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah.
Okay.
an actual a picture of a pizza, then we would have known the pizza would have been them.
Okay. If that's the case, then higher class all the way.
There.
Great choice.
There's a lot of people up there that are kind of in control of things, but uh, from the time in the line, we're all very friendly with each other in the higher class.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, there's only a couple people in Crime Wave, and like only Matt Barone's good. So you know, that's pretty much the way that goes.
Facts.
Yeah, Bomada's pointing out that the whiskey glass, tumbler glass, is the higher class emoji. That is correct. All right. A question from the buddy building: Huskus the cow, or Ain the rabby dog?
You have to go with the classic original Huskus the cow.
All right. Uh, Ken Fouché, when the Seat of Power finalizes, do you have a plan for something new on Thursday nights, or Seat of Power 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Well, so if we remember back at the end of last year when I started doing Thursday night boss style events, I used those kind of silly names.
hmm
Uh, I don't plan on retiring the Seat of Power tournament. This feels just like season one of it. Um, if I get some or if I get, I probably once this thing is done, I'm gonna do some uh, more casual ones before I start another long-term league style one like the Seat of Power one was. But it might just be called Seat of Power 2 Electric Boogaloo because that's just a fun name.
All right. Swaggy D, is asking your favorite competitor slash you versus competitor slash opponent match you've ever had.
Favorite competitor slash you versus component. I don't know. Here's the thing, especially with Chibi. I've had so many really good matches. That's what I enjoy about the community here. Like, especially during tournaments, you can have these what you would consider 5-star matches out of nowhere, and it's just, oh yeah, no, this is just round 2 of a tournament.
Right, right.
Thank you
It's
for the
just like,
sub.
wow, we just had the best match of the tournament, and then next match it's a squash match, and it's just like, oh, I'm out of the tournament, but I still had my fun. Recently, I would say the best match I had was actually probably the most fun match I had was that 2 a.m. triad match between me, Press 1P, and the Brain.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus.
I
If
remember
anyone
that.
actually remembers that shenanigans that
Oh
happened,
boy.
I do. I had the perfect seat in the house for it.
Yeah, he
yes.
was in the
Unfortunately,
booth.
yeah, unfortunately, that was before I learned how to save things to YouTube, or that would have been great.
I know that
I
was
think 2 a.m. is being
outrageous.
awfully generous at the time that match started at.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
2 a.m. your time.
Yeah, my time, and then it ended like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. It was. The sun was definitely coming up when that match was ending. The sun was still up in the air when the event started, and it was still in the air when it was over. 20 hours later. But that was the best part of that match for me, and I'll always remember, is you putting your gimmick on Brain to his great consternation. Like he was just so like, what? I think that his main thing cost him that match was because once that happened, he just lost his like, wait, what? What's going on? I have no clue what's going on anymore. Nothing is happening the way I predicted. But it was a very fun match. All right. There was something. Yeah, there. No one wants you to retire in the Seat of Power tournaments, so
Yeah,
that's
like I
always
said,
good.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
retire the Seat of Power tournaments. It's just the idea that I originally had for the Seat of Power was do a bunch of these little tiny tournaments, have one final kind of King of the Ring style tournament to crown the first Seat of Power winner.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
the original prize was going to be a nice little created card or created mat with the Seat of Power on it. I think that's still going to be the prize, but I need to get in talks with Moss about that. But yeah, the idea is always to do more of these because they're just fun, and because I enjoy the community so much, I don't want to stop doing Thursday night events.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, but you can only do the Seat of Power so many times before you decide it has to be something different.
Okay. So we have Cannoli having another question. So let's bring him in.
Oh, hi, I'm back. Um, so you mentioned obviously we know you've played Magic and you've been a Magic judge or are a Magic judge. Uh, what are some other card games that you've played in the past or also and have judged?
So let's see. Back when
Uh-oh.
I was really young, I started with Pokemon. I got into the Yu-Gi-Oh. I became a judge for Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Cardfight Vanguard, Force of Will, uh, Legend of the Five Kingdom, or what's it? Five Rings. That's what it is. I I have always been playing a card game of some type. Uh, I've played most
Okay.
card game systems, and I've enjoyed almost all of them. And for most of them, I've become a judge in just because I like helping communities grow. Uh, and so yeah, I played pretty much any game you can even imagine for card game wise.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Let me check. So yeah. The buddy building is talking about how card fight Vanguard rules.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So one thing we haven't touched on. So when you got into this community, why did you choose to join the line as a faction?
Well, they were the first ones to actually ask me. That is the simplest answer I can give. But so when I was originally kind of asked about it, uh, a couple of members reached out to me. We're saying, "Hey, we're starting this. We want to see if you're interested." I told them that I was interested, and then out of nowhere one night, Hold the Line Harry gives me a message. Says, "Hey, come play some games with me." So I played some games. We hung out. We had a good time. and I didn't. I kind of knew at the time, but I didn't know at the time that that was his way of trying to see if I was going to be a good fit for the line.
Funny thing is, Harry was the fourth member of the group, but he was the one that hadn't had as much interaction with Paul. So he's like, "Oh, let's check with him first."
Right, right.
But just so people don't get the impression that like Harry's like the leader of the line, because I know some people don't like that impression getting out there.
Well,
Me.
It's me, Austin. Oh wait, no.
Well, today is Austin 316.
Exactly.
It
It
is.
is.
What?
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 Oh
The
god, we're
most
gonna get
annoying
so
crap.
much of that in the dojo tonight.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
You will. You will for sure.
Yeah. I think one of the beautiful things about that is like you can see how much us as people trusted Paul. Like I mean, before Harry because he didn't know him, but the
Mhm.
other one, like me, Jeremy, and Cannoli, is because our faction wasn't even announced at that point, and we're like, oh yeah, let's get this guy and see if he's interested in it, and like not like we could trust him because at that point if we picked the wrong person, they could have blown up our spot months ahead of time.
Right, right.
Instead, like no one really had a reason to think it until Harry's tornado match when they were trying to fill the third spot, and he kind of had to tell Glace. But and him, John P, kind of figured it out because of that too.
Right.
But so it goes a lot of work. Wait till you see. Oh, Bobata is saying, wait till you see his shirt tonight. Well, we're glad you're
Oh,
going to be wearing a
gosh.
shirt. That's the best thing on the dojo is when people wear shirts.
Right.
And then Candyman would like to
Uh-oh.
know, Candyman Dan or Candyman?
Candy Ma'am all day.
Let's go. Good answer. Good answer.
Oh yeah, the line loves Candyman. Candyman Dan, he's okay, but
He's
Candyman's the best. So she would also like to know your favorite movie and which other country would you like to live in if you could?
I honestly don't have a favorite movie. I've watched so many of them. I have favorite genre or like favorite genre movies or stuff like that. The one that always sticks in my head, the silly rom com Serendipity. It is a very entertaining movie.
Okay.
Some really good actors in that. Knight's Tale is another comedy that I enjoy.
Was that's actually that's the Martin Lawrence one?
I believe so. The one with Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay. No, it's not the Martin Lawrence one. That's the one I didn't think was actually supposed to be a comedy.
What?
I know it comes out that way, but yeah, that was the MTV King Arthur
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Which, if you're really a big fan of the King Arthur stories, is actually very fucking annoying. It's this guy.
And favorite other country I would like to live in, probably Japan.
Okay.
I like the idea of that, at the very least.
Okay, yeah, Serendipity was John Cusack. That's who I thought. Yeah, you can never go wrong with John Cusack. Love that guy. All right. So Cannoli would like to know your top favorite 5 favorite video games.
I once again, it's one of those things where I played way too many games. Enjoyed a lot of them. I put Zelda and Pokemon series in the top 5. I play a lot of League of Legends. Let's see, 2 other series. When I was much younger in high school, Halo was a really fun one. We used to do a lot of that. That was a fun series. I don't know.
High school and Halo. Holy man.
Yeah, no. I'm showing my age as one of the younger players in this game.
Wait a minute here.
Halo wasn't even out when I was in high school.
No. No.
Yeah, no. I am much younger than a lot of players here, which is kind of funny. Okay. So, any other questions?
Oh yeah, you got tons coming in here.
That's it.
Sorry, me and Allergy were talking in the chat, and I was mentioning how Knight's Tale makes only Chaucer nerds like Knight's Tale, And as I was typing it, I guess he was typing Nice Tail Mage also seemed kind of cool, so points for that. And it just, mine came out first, so it kind of made it look bad on him. Uh, but great. Uh, so, uh, Young Hours, you would like to know though, what is your where did your obsession with the overthrow of monarchies come from?
Oh, once again, that was from the storyline of Chibi wanting to show that he is better than everyone
I think
else.
he thinks I think he thinks it's inbred into you, like that came from somewhere deep inside you.
Well, okay, so every character should always have be or one of the thoughts in wrestling is the character should be you put up to turned up to 11. I think it's the same of how it's supposed to go. I have a big chip on my shoulder where I want to be the best no matter what.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine not being the best because I know where my skill level is. But up here, I still think that I'm better than you in a lot of cases. And that is why Chibi thinks that he is better than anyone that is put above him.
Okay.
So, kings,
That's nice.
anyone that decides to take the moniker king, queen, royalty, it's a slap in his face, and he's gonna put them in their place.
All right.
Is what came from that.
Yeah. Allergy is saying regicide is a strong word, which yes it is. But death to the monarchs. I mean, death to the monarchy is a very American ideal, but
Very.
of course, to truly Americanize it, you need to replace them with other uh, versions of monarchies uh, called rich people. Anyway, Swaggy D would like to know D&D or Pathfinder class/race.
Okay, D&D, Pathfinder.
What
I
was
have
his not Kitsune?
always human fighter. I am.
Okay.
I enjoy the classics on that. Uh, I mean, D&D. I started 3.5 years ago, playing with friends on their kitchen table. There were weeks, or that was one of the fun ones where it's like Magic the Gathering brought me friends that played D&D, which brought me into that community, and that community is just amazing as well.
Hmm.
And I remember months where it's just like every single day we were meeting up after work, after school, and just playing another session. To the point that it's like, how long have we playing this? Been playing the same game? Oh, 3 years? Wow.
Oh yeah. The beauties of being younger. Then when you get to adulthood, it's like, okay, we canceled 6 sessions because we can't get people together because
Yeah,
everyone
no,
has a
no, no,
life.
no.
It's horrible.
That is our situation now. It's just like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I got next Thursday, and then the next free day is 5 weeks from now on a Monday. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Before the pandemic hit, I dropped out of my D&D because I had other things come up in my personal life. But at one point, I was at 4 RPG nights a week. So, and they were all consistent every week. Rarely ever
Nice.
did we miss them because we had a group of
Nice.
people. But
Very nice.
again, when you get on like this side, like 40 and this close to 40, like things start opening up again. When the people you are friends with, the kids are in like their 30s and their late 20s, and like they don't have to pay as much attention to them. So let's see. So we got that one. Bombada would like to know if you could get a shot at any LFF title, what would it be and why?
I think he had another comment before that, but
Did he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5 people to play that are not in the line.
Oh, crap.
Let me answer that one first because
Sure.
that was also a good one. I have never had a bad game against the boss. All of them are fun. 4-star, 5-star matches, and like minus 2 minute challenges where it's just a squash one way or another.
Right.
But me and Boss always have really good games. Same thing, Italian Bombada. Love playing against you. We always have fun matches. They're always pains in the ass because you're playing characters that are just so like they're meant to be a pain in the ass, and I love it and I hate it. As a competitor, I hate playing against them. As a lover of this game, I love playing against them because they're so much fun. Other people, Candyman Dan is also a very good one to play against. Alex Flores, if you guys have not gotten a chance to play against him, he's a very good player, very fun to play against.
That's my guy.
Um, other fun. Brain. Brain pushes me to my limits, and I love it. And I get under his skin and just confuse the crap out of him, and I love that.
All right. Then we can go back to the LFF Total one.
Obviously, the big title. I want to get into a position where I have to, if I could find a storyline to play against John P. and defeat John P. in his greatest with his greatest title and put him back down into a place where he deserves to be, that would be the most fun thing imaginable to me.
Good luck.
And then Chris Pate coming and hitting me with a hardcore running knee.
I had a great storyline. Nope.
What?
Well,
That is a perfect storyline of a person that has a chip on his shoulder taking on the person that is so-called the top of the tower, beating them, and then getting hit out of nowhere with a hardcore running.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fun storyline.
I think so too.
yeah, your storyline was so good, TBG, that I think Schmidt's trying to copy it.
Yeah, he just copied it because I
There
was
we
just
go.
like, hey, whatever, you know. He can't copy the Kid to Stick Party because I got copyrights on the music.
All right. Bavada likes playing as Chibi,
Nice.
and he's saying you're saying the Chibi competitor is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Yes.
can be.
I made Chibi to be the most painful situation for players that are playing against them. Because the worst thing for a lot of players in this game is rolling bad. And so to make a situation where you roll bad twice or have two chances of rolling bad, it sounds like a great competitor and a pain in the ass because, yeah, I've played against Bombada like twice with Chibi versus Chibi matchups. And my biggest problem, I roll 5s and 6s all the time with them. So I get the worst end of my own gimmick on that.
All right.
I know all about the 5s, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love using your competitors just against Young Allergy for fun because he really did love rolling 5s. That seat of power.
Yeah, no. The Seat of Power was a very fun, original toss-up of a finisher that Italian Bombata will always bring up. That he suggested for me to just say it because back when I was trying to make Chibi, I was like, I really don't know where to go with it. So he's like, why not? If it's 5, the match ends. And he'll always tell the stories where it's just like, yeah, boss is never gonna let that go, but he just wanted to see. And boss goes, yeah, sure, that sounds good. Boss's main concern on that one was just, crap, what happens if both of you roll a 5 on it?
Yeah.
Well, give me just +1 to strike. Okay, that solves it.
I mean, we could really work really hard to give you that strike back to 5 again, but you know, it's not really worth the effort for most people to use those cards.
Right.
All right. So Cannoli would like to know what are some competitors you want to build in the future?
Competitors I want to build in the future. I mean, I don't know until I see them. A lot of good tag teams just came out recently in trios. I'm looking forward to testing a couple of them. But I wouldn't say there's any single competitor that I'm interested in building right now.
All right. Oh yeah. Allergy saying love isn't the word he really had in store for the getting him to see the power of rolling 5, but you know, it's close enough. You know, you hate it, but you love it.
Right.
That's one of those fun things that happen to you. But you know, if you ever have to face TBG off one-on-one, it's definitely the finish to go for.
Yeah, because you know I'm rolling agility all day, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
All right. miss any questions in the chat? Probably. I always do. But make sure you ask more questions. We got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes left in the show.
Yeah.
So if you got them in Zoom or in the Twitch, it's always appreciated.
Yeah.
Any questions, big guy?
Yeah, man. Big guy's a big sports guy.
Mhm.
Okay. NCAA tournament starting this week. Are you a basketball guy? Yes or no?
I'm a professional basketball guy. We
man.
always love Spurs down here because
My man.
they're the best dynasty that will never be considered a dynasty.
I agree. So I mean, obviously, are you taking Gonzaga?
Honestly, I haven't looked much at the bracket this year. I'll be completely honest. Since last year was a wash, I'm just like, I haven't looked at it since.
Yeah, it was very. I will admit, being a basketball guy myself, played basketball in college, coached basketball, like making a transition into this year to try to get back into basketball was very hard after no 2020 basketball. But so NCAA tournament. This is my favorite time of year right now. The next month because of the basketball. So. Before we get that question, you say you were a Spurs fan. So, I mean, the obvious answer is usually the same for most Spurs fan. Who is your favorite Spur of all time?
It's got to be Tim Duncan.
I knew it.
You say that, but you ask that question to any older Spurs fan in San Antonio, they're going to go David Robinson because that's what started.
Yes, that's what started David Robinson. I won a Tim Duncan shirt, a Tim Duncan jersey at Kennywood, which is here in Pittsburgh. It's an amusement park, and I won a Tim Duncan jersey and sent it to my buddy that lived in Texas. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. We got another question in Twitch there.
Yep. Swaggy D would like to know, what is your least favorite competitor or gimmick style to pilot?
High recursion gimmicks. As much as like they're super strong. Gold standard, I feel these guys that are highly overpowered, the recursion, it's a crutch that just makes it like I'm not gonna say that you're a bad player when you're playing them or anything, but they limit you in what you're capable of showing off because it's just, oh, I rolled this die. Oh, look, I get something back. Oh, I rolled this die. I shuffle this card back into my deck. Like, it weakens you as a player if you get used to playing them and then you come back and play something else and you're just like, oh, this is so much harder. Why is it? Because you're
autopilot. Yeah.
Like, I will never say that X-Royce is a bad competitor or anything, but I know Chris Pate is a better player than people consider just because the hardcore running knee kind of just wins it for yourself.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, and this is the real best question of the chat. So, when will Cat, the leader, or the real true leader of the Dojo Mafia, which we will reveal today on the show, get her own competitor card?
Eventually. I would never say never on that. I would love to put my baby girl into this game. We'll see what comes up, but I don't even have a gimmick to even start on that for her yet.
At least she's not 10 and constantly bugging you when they're getting their competitor.
Oh, this is true.
I mean, and you let him know that Cat has to get hers first because Cat is the leader of the Dojo Mafia. Like,
yes, the Dojo Mafia.
When she started playing with the watching YouTube videos, that's when the Dojo Mafia went down. Like when she started being able to watch whatever she wanted and figure it out. Like that's when she started paying attention.
Why haven't we asked? No one's asked any questions about that yet. That was a very fun thing.
I don't think. So I guess we should probably go into it. So, how was the Dojo Mafia created?
I don't remember.
No? I knew that. I knew he was going to say that.
So I do actually, because I really really good memory. And the way the Dojo Mafia was created was you and me were already in a faction, and
Mhm.
someone made a joke, like, because we were both using bits in the dojo. Oh man, watch, they're probably in a faction together, like in Mafia. And we're like, this
That's right.
seems like
That's
fun.
right. Mhm.
And we
That's
just
right.
started messing with the ball. And like, I
Well,
was
I mean, we
already
were
sniping the
already
ball.
messing with them,
Yeah, I had
but we
already
just,
been.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Like,
remember because I was trying to operate the Dojo Mafia while also driving for work, and that was a pain in the ass of doing.
yeah, and it ended up being more work. And so the reason why it pretty much ended was because, our faction actually got announced, and it's like, well, we don't need to do this joke thing anymore.
Right, right.
But Swaggy D's asking what the Dojo Mafia was. Well, the Dojo Mafia was a group of us. It mostly started with me and Paul as a joke, and then it moved on. But where we would basically, in the Zoom room before the dojo, decide who was going to win the matches by spending bits on people and
Mhm.
paying for
Yes.
stipulations. Paul would generally buy the stips, and I would generally give the +1s to finish rolls to end matches.
Yes, and
Uh,
there were a couple of weeks where we just completely controlled the dojo.
Absolutely.
Multiple weeks of just free cards being given out to the point that we were going, okay, we have to start going, okay, you're going to lose if you play this person,
yeah,
you're going to win if you play this person.
yeah.
That was one of the first times where we felt bad because we were beating up on Schmidt a lot
Yeah,
back
we were
then.
beat up on Schmidt a lot. Then like Bambata joined in with it,
Mhm.
Butters joined in with it, and things like that.
Jeff the
And it
Peak,
was fun.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was and it was just so much fun doing it. And it was yeah, it did. It made the boss a lot of money by doing it, and Glace a lot of money off the dojo and the bits. And
Right.
it was fun. There was a lot of people who hated it too because like things didn't go on sale unless we wanted them to go on sale.
Mhm.
And like very rarely did we actually bet wrong. Like
Yep.
like but the thing is it's one of those things where like yeah, it was fun and honestly the dojo probably could use it again because like matches take too long. And
Yeah.
the one
Oh,
thing the
yeah, no.
Dojo Mafia did was help end matches.
You know why they take so long?
Yeah.
Because the big guy ain't in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Schmidt likes to take 5 minutes for a 2 minutes match.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've played 3 matches on God Next in like 10 minutes.
Oh yes. No, practice side, yes. That definitely made a lot of money for
Yeah.
for Steve.
Yeah.
I remember there were so many days where it would just be a bits war for it, and it got to the point where people would stop. Like right now, it's the same thing. Evil Ed controls what's
yeah.
gonna happen, what step it's
What
gonna
step
be.
it's going to be. And it's very rarely will anyone go against because, to be
Mhm.
fair, he does a good job at it. And, if he wants it, he gets it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not worth, like, the fight it.
I
Like,
remember back for the first virtual
Grand Gathering?
grand gathering, they had a dojo night
Yes.
where where I was trying to outbid GM Calais. GM Calais threw $40 into it
Yeah.
just so that I couldn't control his match dip. Pissed me off. So the next match that happened in that went up to like $80 of bits thrown for a match that didn't even matter for anything else. And I remember the participants are just like, "What in the world is going on
Yeah.
here?"
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have a question from Jeremy in the Zoom chat, so let's get that from him.
Hey, so my question is this. You earlier on you gave us the backstory of Chibi, the competitor. All right, well, what about you've mentioned many times that Paul Trejo and Chibi are not the same person. So what is the LFF in-universe backstory for Paul Trejo, the competitor?
See, that's something that I haven't even thought of because I haven't made my own competitor yet for that.
And Cat comes first.
And Cat comes first, definitely on that case. It's just it would probably be just a lover of wrestling getting this best chance at going into wrestling and just randomly showing up into a New York noodle shop one day or whatever, Chinese restaurant.
Yep, Chinese
Oh, yeah.
restaurant. magic cookie
stumbling down
factory.
the stairs and ending up inside the underworld of the LFF. Like, I haven't thought about that so much, mainly because most people in the LFF don't know me separate from my character Chibi. It's interchangeable for pretty much everyone, and that's the hardest part for me, because I'm in a line base faction, and I've got this character who's supposed to be a heel, and I would love to do more character work with him for it, but he's now relegated to the person running events and just kind of controlling the stuff. So it it's kind of hard to split the character up right now, or to not be that character and be me at the same time.
That's fair. Yeah. Young Allergy pointed out it's Ling's, but then Bombada corrected him by saying it's Lin.
Lin.
Fine Fortune Chinese restaurant. Ling. Then he corrected himself with Ling, so he swings and a miss on the name in the first part. Okay. And he tried to collect Allergy, which everyone knows. If you check the new rule book in the Steel Cage, he's like a special thanks because he did a lot. He does a lot of work for SRG on the down low, not as down low now. Um, so uh, you didn't post at the same time. I can see the order they came in at. He did Ling, you did Lin, and then like the Streamlabs popped up, and then you corrected yourself. So it was way later that you corrected yourself. But yeah. So why is the WWF RPG the best RPG in the world, and Street Fighter RPG is the worst? I think that's a good question to ask. I mean,
Uh-oh.
Well, because it's a fun role playing system. It's a fun setting. Like, wrestling is just fun in general. I hate it when I was younger. My family, like me and my dad, would watch wrestling, and my aunts would always go, "Why are you watching it? It's fake." And I remember my cousins going, "Wrestling's not fake." It's like, no, I know. Yeah, it's predetermined. It's staged. It's like watching a theater play, but it's just more physical. It's entertaining.
yeah.
So a setting of wrestling for a D&D style game where it's making yourself into a wrestling competitor is just so much fun. I don't know, and then you have Street Fighter where it's just like, I don't actually understand the world of Street Fighter. I haven't actually looked into that too much.
No one does.
They
Just
just like,
pretend they do.
hey, we're all fighters and we're gonna have a big tournament. Then winner gets killed
Yeah.
by some guy.
Like seriously, and how can you take serious any world where Eddie Fury's one of like the major characters?
Right?
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Wrestling is novellas for the men, Swaggy D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
There we go.
Definitely.
There we go.
I mean, though, not just for the men anymore. It's good. Actually, most wrestling stories aren't as good as most soap operas are nowadays, but there's more action.
What wrestling you watching?
Pretty much all of them.
You said more action. I'm trying to.
Then the soap operas. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely more action than the soap operas.
You mean Stefano didn't die for the 10,000th time?
It's usually like usually you get like people abducting people's children and stuff like that, but not violently. They just like switch the babies in the cribs and stuff. Luckily, I haven't had to watch them in a while, so. All right, practice saying. So when Rembrandt Wild shows up in game with when your breakout roll is less than 6, you may re-roll it. You will have a new favorite character.
Yes. Sign me up. Shit, look, he's shaking his head. He's like,
Well, I mean, if someone ever came out with a gimmick like that, it would make me happy. because it means that people are so like they respect Chibi so much that they have to make something to counter him.
Right.
Like right, I don't know.
Who doesn't like
There was
Barbarian
just there was just the tornado release recently,
Zen
where
Garden.
not Zen Garden for that have on a text of one of their finishers blank the Dangerous
Oh yeah,
Alliance's gimmick.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. This,
Verta Boys.
yeah, the
Yes.
Verta Boys.
I
The
think
boys.
that is one of the biggest nods of respect to the Dangerous Alliances out there, just because someone respects you so much and hates playing against you so much that they had to put it into one of their cards.
And I believe the answer was that was actually the boss who put that on there. So,
even better.
And then he put it on there wrong.
Yeah. I heard I thought they corrected
They
that
fixed
issue,
it with the logo, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. But the original time it went up, it was just plain text, and it's like, well, there's no one like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, yeah, Verta Boys. Great tag team. Great. Probably the best art on a tornado team I've ever seen. Definitely. Pitter patter. Everyone likes collecting misprints. Yeah. Yeah, you're that much of a threat. It needs a counter. Swaggy's Ding. Love that. Yeah. No, definitely. It is. There is some good in the game when you see like, oh man, someone's making something that's a hard counter for something you do. But then there's like sometimes it's sad when like it's the only thing your competitor does that's decent,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they take it away.
Yeah, I
When they
know.
make a general card that does that, it doesn't feel that good. But when
Yeah.
there's a card, when someone is specifically making a competitor to try to beat you,
Yeah.
you just gotta love that a little bit. But then again, that's just my superiority complex talking there.
All right. VHS 101 would like to know what is your favorite band?
Just like everything else, I listen to way too much music. Favorite band recently, I've been listening to.
Baby Shark.
I've been listening to a lot of Baby Shark.
Oh boy.
Baby, anytime you have a child, you nowadays it's just like you put YouTube on. There's like 15 different songs that will just play on loop, on loop, on loop.
15's
Yep.
quite a lot though, actually.
I have a Spotify cat mix that is 15 songs that she will dance to every single one of them.
Nice.
That's good.
But recently I have been listening to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon.
Excuse me.
Okay.
They're a rock metal group, very fun.
His favorite band that you never know from music. Nivy? What the hell is Nivy? I don't know. I don't know what you're going for there, Schmidt.
Nice, maybe. Maybe he just spelled nice wrong.
Very popular.
Nice, yeah.
Possible.
Hey.
I don't speak often. At least not well. Please outline your master plan for bringing Whataburger to the rest of the country.
Whataburger should have never sold their rights to their name. It pisses me off. It should have stayed in Texas and the surrounding Texas area. Next question.
There you go. That was quick and easy.
I've never eaten a Whataburger, so I'll keep
Me
it.
either. I never heard
Unless
of
I
it.
go to Texas, but Texas is big. Big
Yeah,
things
no,
are scary.
From what I hear, you guys drive for 4 hours. You're in another state. I drive for 4 hours. I'm almost to the next city.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on which direction I go.
Correct.
So see, here it depends on the direction you go. I drive 4 hours in Texas from where I am in Texas. I'm still in Texas.
Well, to be fair though, if you lived in like Galveston and you drove 4 hours south, you'd just be dead.
What? Yes.
So, I mean, let's be fair. Like I'm in Philadelphia, so I'm on the edge of the state. So like 4 hours towards Big Guy, I'd just be in like the mountains.
Yeah.
And probably hearing banjos.
Correct. Yeah.
And
Ding, ding, ding,
really
ding, ding,
scared.
ding, ding.
So like,
Let's see. 4 hours west of San Antonio is a desert. 4 hours north of San Antonio is Dallas. 4 hours west of San Antonio is almost to Louisiana, and that's scary enough as it is. South, you're going to be at the border.
All right. Yeah. Oh man, Galveston in the ocean, that'd be bad. Uh, I mean, you got my point though. Like,
Yeah.
it depends on where you are in Texas. You're in a more centrally located part of Texas, so
Yep.
which is
Yep.
partially why going like 4 hours in any direction is fine for you. But not everyone's that lucky in Texas. Some
This
people
is
go
true.
like 4 hours and they're in Louisiana, and who wants to be in Louisiana?
No one. That's it.
No one. Absolutely no one.
Practice side. So, what is the
Yep.
state of Super Show in Texas? Are you the GM of all of Texas? How does that work? So, the original master plan that was drawn up by Bob Huff years ago. I say years ago. It's only been a year since he's been gone. Uh,
I know.
he wanted a general manager of Texas overall, and he would reach out to the general managers of North Texas, West Texas, South Texas, and Central Texas, and East Texas. Uh, we only really have a community in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and Austin that I know of. Once I can get back in touch with them, because a lot of them I don't either have their numbers or the shops that they went to closed down. So I'm trying to slowly get a hold of them. If any of you listening to this are a player of Super Show in the state of Texas that is not in Austin or San Antonio that would like to get put into the greater uh, community of Texas, let me know so I can get a hold of you and try to get stuff set up. Because right now, there's only 2 stores in Texas that were getting product, and one of them I know hasn't been getting product in a while. So if the store's not getting product, I don't know about it. But yeah, as of right now, Super Show in Texas is San Antonio, and I am GM over everything. Once stuff gets started back up, I'm gonna keep the spot of GM of San Antonio, but I'm probably going or of Texas. I might make GM San Antonio someone else.
Nice.
Sounds
Nice.
good. And Ken Fouché is also confirming that as a former resident of Louisiana, he can confirm that even people that live in Louisiana do not want to live in Louisiana. It's fair. Even if
Oh
they work on
man.
planes, I think. Anyway, all right. So we only got a couple minutes left.
Mhm.
So if anyone's got any final questions, get them in now. If you have any big eye, get them in. And I'm gonna quickly look up who we're gonna have on next week so I can tell people because
There you
I
go.
forget.
There you go. All right, Paul. Water or Gatorade?
Water.
Let's go. Cardio or weight training?
Back when I was younger, it was all about the weight training because I wanted to just be jacked. Now it's more cardio because I hate when I can't I run a little bit. I'm just like, well, now I'm winded. Uh, when I was younger, I played a lot of this video game that some of you have heard of called Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy, but I could play that very well. I know Matt Haas has been trying to challenge people.
So my shirt.
Uh, but I used to be really good at that, and I could run for quite a while. Now I get winded carrying the baby around a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's all about cardio now once I start working out again.
Nice. Nice.
Ken Fouché, what is the plan for the Deep
Yep.
South title? There is no plan for the Deep South title. As of right now, it's controlled by 3 GMs: the GM of Texas, myself, the GM of Florida, who is Chugonomics, and the GM of Georgia, which is Hold the Line Harry. The big problem with that is one of them holds the title, and one of them has been in the last 2 title defenses for it because he was going for the title last, and then his husband is now going for the title. So they are kind of right now. I have had to make all decisions for matches going forward for it, just because of conflicts of interest there, which I know is kind of funny, seeing as Hold the Line Harry is in I'm in a faction with them, but that's why the GM of Texas is Chibi. But yeah,
And trust us, he'll screw over faction members and just say it's all Chibi's fault.
exactly. But going forward, there is a number one contenders title shot this Thursday during the Sunshine SmackDown Thursday night streaming card. I don't know who's streaming it, but someone's supposed to be streaming it, and there's supposed to be a number one contendership on that. And then sometime this week, the Deep South title is going to be defended. And that's as far as I have, because once I know afterwards if it's Harry still holding the title or if someone else wins it, then we can go forward with who's next.
Yeah,
but I do
need to
know
get someone from Kentucky in there, I think, or Tennessee.
Favorite DDR mix and song.
I got nothing for you guys on that one. I'm sorry.
Supernova 2 and pretty much any of the songs. It's okay. It will change up in a month. Yeah. South has a reputation for
yeah,
for love of gold. I do not let that creep into the Deep South title picture. I try not to let things that
it sounds like you're like the voice of reason, like somebody else in their regional title chat.
I mean, it can't be you because you're not in that position anymore, right?
Oh no! That's just CCW, baby.
Well, I mean, storyline wise for the Deep South GMs, we have Hold the Line Harry, who is supposed to be the good guy in this. We have Chibi, who's supposed to be the heel GM, and then we have Chuggy, who is the crazy heel GM.
You have been requested to dab on screen.
On
dab
stream.
On screen.
I thought he was requesting you to do it, big guy.
Oh, all I got to do is say get that out of here. It's the same thing.
All right, I don't think you're getting that dab swag.
I actually don't know what a dab is.
It's
Is that?
You go like that or move. Yeah, it's just horrible. Yeah, I mean, I'll do it horribly. I do all dance moves horribly. So.
Oh,
it's a dance move?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a dance move. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are wrestlers who do it all the time, but yeah.
You know, kids these days.
Yeah, it's weird.
Reverse psychology from Chibi, amazing skill. No, okay. That's a fun one. So that's just something that I do because I'm a horrible human being. When I play any card game that is a game that's where you don't have 100% knowledge, I will always try to mess with my opponents as much as possible. If you've ever played against me, every once in a while, when you're getting your turn, I'm just going to put a card down in front of myself and just wait for you to play the card. And then I'm going to flip it and it's going to be the stop for it. It's a great way to mess with people's minds. And if they just don't do what you what you do, it's just like, okay. And then they start going, well, is that actually a stop or is that the next card he's going to play? I don't know. It's just stuff to get people confused.
Or if you're smart, you just don't give a shit about it.
Which you would think that people would not give a shit about it, but you don't understand how many people get just.
Yeah, oh, I know.
What?
I do it at times to people too, reverse psychology. And at this point, Kanoe's probably getting very upset at me from remembering some of those things I've done to him. But in my defense, you need to learn those things so that when you deal with other people who do it, like, oh man, don't get like if they flip cards, they can pull back a finisher. So yeah, please don't get back the grapple. Well, you know, even if you have a finished stopper grapples in your hand.
Right.
Or yeah, that's another thing that I've done a lot. It's where I will just start going, okay, it hits. You're gonna grab back this and this, and they're gonna go, you know that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
But now they're going, is it a good idea because he told me it, or is it a good idea because that's what I was gonna do, or does he want me to do this so that he has the stops?
Yeah.
anytime I can get someone to start questioning their own decisions, it makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh, it's always good that way.
I just play kendo stick.
Yeah, no, you just smack people with kendo sticks. Kendo slice.
So we're gonna wrap up this show. It was a great show. Next week it looks like we are scheduled to have Book the Roach for it.
Ooh, book the roach.
So
Hashtag book the roach.
yeah, hashtag Book Roach. So we should be good. Thank you for coming on for the 39th episode or second episode or
39/2.
or even the first episode of the new season of it. With like,
There you go.
it's kind of like the BuzzFeed Unsolved where they like switched hosts after the first season and like it just it was interesting.
It was my pleasure being on this show. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's always a fun time. Obviously, I like talking to you, or we wouldn't be in the faction together. So it would have been really weird. But all right. So we will see you all next week. And I don't know who's going to be the co-host next week. We haven't decided, so it'll be a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Yeah. But it won't be the big guy because I don't want to do the same person back to back.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So if you want to tell them, big guy.
Oh, I got 4 words for you. Get that out of here.